We bring in our good friend Adam Rubin, who covers the Mets for us, and Adam is at Citi Field. Adam, is Matt Harvey being late a big deal within that clubhouse?
Well, if you listen to David Wright's comments after the workout, you could read between the lines not too difficultly, and that's a word, and you could tell he was not happy. He said, well, the guys who were here and everyone but one guy was here had a good workout, and that's all I'm concerned about. You have to ask Matt, and he said that multiple times. So, I mean, clearly the Mets don't like the drama, and there's a lot of drama with Matt Harvey. It's funny, a scout whose team didn't make the playoffs was preparing for for the off season, and he texted me earlier today. Said, "Do you still think the Mets might trade Matt Harvey?" And I'm like, I think the inning stuff has calmed down. I'm not so sure anymore. And then this happened. So, I mean, clearly there's a lot of drama, and when there's all this positive stuff going on, he seems to attract some negative attention to the team.
So where do we go from here? I mean, you're a reporter. I mean, is your plan now to find out why he was in New Jersey? I don't think he lives in New Jersey, so why was somebody who had to be at a mandatory workout trying to fight through traffic going through the Lincoln Tunnel going from New Jersey to New York?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to dig on why he was in New Jersey. I asked the Met official if it was legit that he was stuck in traffic, and they emailed back saying, "Well, if you find out, let me know." So, wow. I mean, they're not sure. I mean, you take him at his word, whatever. I mean, he's going to pitch Game 3 in the NLDS. They're not going to suspend him or anything like that. Sandy Alderson, actually, when he was speaking after the workout, he didn't know the reason yet. Apparently, Terry by that point had heard from Matt Harvey. So, and Matt did show up, but he missed the full 2-hour workout.
So, how does this manifest itself with the organization? As you said, he's starting Game 3. They're not going to suspend him. Will there be some discipline?
I don't know yet. Sandy, some reporters reached Sandy after Matt Harvey spoke, and he didn't give any follow-up quotes about that. So I don't know what kind of discipline. I mean, I don't know what they could do other than like a fine or something like that. I mean, as I said, it's not like they're going to sacrifice the postseason. Right. I mean, Steven Matz is still very iffy as it is, so they're not going to cut off their nose to spite their face. So I'm not sure what they could do. He apparently apologized to people in the clubhouse and stuff like that. So I'm sure it doesn't sit well. You know, Matt doesn't have the greatest relationship with all his teammates anyway. I mean, I don't really talk about it too much publicly, but I mean, I think Noah Syndergaard particularly is really afraid of Matt or doesn't really care for him that much. It's funny, Syndergaard a lot of times, you're in the clubhouse often, you know, the players do their interviews at their lockers. Syndergaard, after his starts, a lot of times goes outside the clubhouse to do his interviews, and a lot of the reason for that is because he's intimidated by Harvey. So, I mean, clearly it's not all rosy in that clubhouse all the time, no matter how good a clubhouse it is in general.
While you were waiting to come on, Adam, we're talking to our very own Adam Rubin, who covers the Mets for us. I said this is like a marriage that it's so volatile. They're always arguing. You can see them arguing from the street. I mean, is there any love lost between the Mets and Harvey? I mean, do the two sides just put up with each other?
Well, I mean, the Mets as an entity, it's hard to answer that. I mean, Terry Collins obviously deals with the garbage because he needs Matt Harvey to succeed, and Terry wants to take the high road and doesn't want to happen what happened with the Angels and the Astros in the 90s where he has a bad relationship with his players. So he takes, not about the high road, but he tries to maintain the relationships and doesn't say anything critical. I'm sure you could see the exasperation, though, with a guy like Sandy Alderson's a little more pointed and stuff like that. So I'm sure on different levels, the love losses or the caring for him is different. It'll be interesting to see if they trade him this winter because, I mean, Zach Wheeler is going to come back next June or July. You have Neese under contract. So, I mean, if you could get like a stud position player for him, and I don't think this diminishes his trade value at all, just like the innings thing didn't diminish his trade value. So, I mean, you could make a case that they should trade him this winter when he still has 3 years of control. I mean, it's obvious that they're not re-signing him after 2018, not because they don't want to, just because what price Boris is going to command, and it's just hard to foresee them doing that. But if you have a rotation with DeGrom, Syndergaard, Matz, you have Neese under contract, and you have Wheeler coming back in June or July, I mean, you certainly could afford to trade Harvey, not to give him away, but if you could get an attractive young position player. I mean, I'm not that familiar with the Red Sox. I'm a little more familiar with the Cubs, but yeah, one of those type of guys where it would make sense to send him, it would be interesting. So we'll see where it goes.
Well, if you could get Xander Bogaerts, you make that trade in a second.
Yeah, and as I don't see them as much as you guys see them all the time. So I mean, I'm more acquainted with the Cubs prospects. Where but I've had a lot of people joke privately that maybe they should send him to Colorado for Carlos Gonzalez as the principal's in the deal, because that'll teach him if the Rockies have him under control for 3 years. Let's see how he likes that. But that's not Mets people talking, but that's a lot of people like around the team kind of joking that would be a true punishment, that Sandy Alderson could really get the last laugh.
Adam, you had mentioned that there are some players in that room that maybe don't care for Matt. Have you been able to put a finger on why that might be?
I mean, I know when A-Rod was going to come here and Steve Phillips said the 24-1 thing, it's not quite to that extreme, but it's a little of that. I mean, there's drama with him. There's not drama with any of the other players, and I think they're just tired of that. And I don't want to speak out of turn and put words in their mouth, but I mean, you could see just in Syndergaard. I use Syndergaard as an example. The fact that he goes outside the clubhouse to give interviews sometimes because he's intimidated by Harvey. I mean, Harvey one day. The SNY does in-game interviews infrequently, but like in the 8th or 9th inning with a pitcher after the pitcher's come out of the game. And they did it with Syndergaard after one game, and Harvey absolutely lit into Jay Horowitz for doing that kind of thing. And ostensibly it was on behalf of the team saying, why are you distracting during the game? Why are you distracting players? But I mean, there are some people who suspected there were other motives besides the altruism of not wanting the team distracted during the game.
Interesting stuff. Quickly, anything with Matz? Do we know any further whether or not he could start a Game 4?
Yeah, there were two major news items today. Matz threw a bullpen session. He's going to go to Florida. He's going to throw in a simulated game on Thursday. They'll make the roster decision on Friday. They're going to take an extra pitcher to L.A. with them in case Matz can't go. I mean, even if Matz can go, they're still debating whether to use DeGrom if they're on short rest in Game 4 if they're down the series. The other thing is that Juan Uribe is definitely out, Sandy Alderson said, for the NLDS with that chest injury, so Kirk Noonheis looks like he's on the roster.
Good stuff, Adam.
Yep.
We appreciate you taking the time. I know you're busy.
Great, thank you.